can be kind of a lot of, I mean, it can be a trial and error sometimes, because I kind of, sometimes I'll figure out this, sometimes I'll use a block and then I'm like, I don't think you're getting this. I think this is making it more confusing. And, so kind of fiddling around with it, but definitely make it something that he's in control of. So in the beginning, I want to say, you just lift your little feet. So the first thing I will even do is look for that little shift over, just like with the Liberty leading. So when I see him kind of just shift that weight over, or that means he's thinking about it. But then start getting him, then buckling that knee, and then just lifting and bending, if that he can do that. And then I will re-cue it right away to see if we can get a little duration. But it's still his to do. You know what I mean? And it's not me touching it.
Right.
Does that part make sense?
That's what I've been trying. Okay, so my main issue is that should I he's fine with me touching his legs.
Mm-hmm.
I will just sit next to him and brush his legs out, whatever. He's fine with that. He is not weird about his legs. I can just sit there and
right
the ground and pet his legs. He's totally fine with that. But it's just the getting him to I don't know if it's maybe I need to watch more of myself doing it so I can see that weight shift.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's the key, but I don't know. It seems like we lose it whenever I go from touching his legs to asking him to pick them up.
Okay. And so will he pick him up on his own yet? Okay. So I think really working on that, because there can also be another element there. The balance of standing on three legs can be hard. And if he hasn't practiced it much, and then when he has tried to do it, and then he gets, manhandled and horrible things happening. So if you can teach him to lift him on his own, they can help him to kind of build his core strength to do it. So I would just work for those little pieces, the weight shift, the bending of the knee, until it starts to lift it. So it could just be, that might just be a week of just, just bend your knee and get ready to do it. And then see if he can't just do a little more. But a block could be.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, he doesn't have any of those, we are not doing any of that aversive stuff here. I just want to say, first and foremost,
yes.
Absolutely not. That's not happening. But he was kind of the one time I lifted his foot up and just set it on a cradle, a hoof cradle on his back leg, and he seemed better with that, but he didn't lift it up himself. I kind of picked it up, put it there, and then he kind of left it there, and I really rewarded him heavily for that. But I don't know, I just want him to have the choice.
Yeah, and I think, and that is a great way to go. So that's the other thing, is then to try and see if putting it on something it is a little more clear, gives him a little bit more balance, a little bit more comfort. But just once he's up there, feet.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's like, I love that. And I think when we're doing new stuff like that, it might be hard, and where they're kind of like, oh, I don't know, I'm feeling unsafe. Just keep it really short. A lot of food, but just say, that's great. That's great for now. Let's go on and do some other fun stuff. So I think, so try even, and a block, and it doesn't even have to be the highest block. You can get those 6x6 pieces of wood at, the lumber store or whatever, the Home Depot for, and have it where it can be wide enough. So it doesn't even have to be a really finite little hoof stand. It's just saying, can you put it there? And it's small enough that you might be able to put it back where he can rest on it, put his foot on it. You could even put a little piece of rubber on it if you wanted to staple it on. So, and you can, and so now you can even staple a little, piece of rope on the end so you can move it, but easily. But I think just having it where it's a big broad thing, and he gets the idea of putting his foot up and his foot back, and kind of play with it from there and seeing. So if he was comfortable with that little piece, I would say that's great. That's a really great start, because you can even start to a nice farrier or trimmer can start to trim from that position. But get him, if he can just do that and love it and want to do it, now you've taken from him going, I don't know, to him going, well, I'll tolerate that, to him going, this is my favorite game. So I think
that's what I want. And I think maybe the balance problems too, last year, or no, 2 years ago, he had a really bad case of EPM, where the vet was put him down, and I was like, oh no, I don't think we will. But we just did a lot of recovery and a lot of rehabilitation work, and he made it through, and now he is totally fine.
Good for
he
you.
can barely tell, but the balance issues might be a little bit so from that, so maybe that support is good, but I just didn't want him. I don't know. That's great advice. I will do that.
Okay.
Keep interrupting.
No, it's okay. I'm like that too, though. I'm full of like, oh, I got one, you know. So it doesn't bother me.
ADHD.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, wait, squirrel. So yeah, I think that would be good.
Let me tell you before I forget.
Yes, exactly. And I think that would be a good way because there can be a little extra balance in there. So it is a little cattywampus for them, you know, as far as the balance goes, but it gives them a little bit of extra support on that. So I think that'd be great. Okay. Keep us posted.
Okay, thank you so much, Shawna.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Well,
I love you so much.
Well, thank you. I think you guys are all amazing. I love that we're all in this together and learning and just in, you know, every time you get, you know, you were all helping to change and have this grow because you're talking to your vets and going, oh no, I don't think that's how it's going to do. And now you'll be having trimmers that you're going to go, I got a new thing to do. So I appreciate all of you and each of you being a part of our community. I think it's fabulous.